All right, let's begin. Start off on your mat. You can lie down and stretch out. Keep a bend in your knees so that your feet are against the floor. You can stretch the arms overhead and just start to sway the legs from side to side. And then lower your arms down by the sides and just place your hands on your rib cage to get ready for our rib cage style breathing. You can take another couple sways of the legs and then eventually point your knees up to the ceiling. Move your feet closer together if they're very wide. You just want to set them up about hips width distance so it feels natural for the thighs to just rest in the hips. Then with your hands on your rib cage, you're really trying to move the palms down to the very side portion of the rib cage so you can feel the palms of the hands against the sides of the waist, and the shoulders can rest towards the floor. Take a moment just to feel the back body resting against the ground and your whole body pretty heavy, sinking towards the floor. You can close your mouth and start to breathe in and out through your nose. And just notice where the breath goes as you inhale deeply. And be sure to breathe out completely. So the natural way we connect to our abdominals in each moment is through the exhalation. So just simply by breathing out, we start to connect to your deep core muscles. So here we want to be very aware and conscious of the breath. And now try and move the breath more into the side area of the rib cage. And when you do this, you're not breathing so much into the front side of the body, and you're definitely not breathing down into the belly. But when you exhale, you want to feel the exhale complete, and you want to feel that sinking sensation through in the navel area where it kind of feels like it's sinking down to the spine. So when you breathe in, you focus on widening the ribs, opening them to the sides of the room. And then when you breathe out, you focus on emptying the breath out till you feel like that last drop, release, and you feel the tightening around your spine or in your abdominal area. And take a few more rounds of breath. Just see if you can find and feel that connection and movement of the breath in the body. And take another final deep breath in. And then empty the breath completely, release it, and let's shift and lower the arms down towards the ground. All right, lift your right leg up to tabletop position. And keep the weight of the tailbone pressing to the floor so you don't roll or curl the pelvis away from the ground. And find a more active push through the back of the body, especially up through the shoulder area, pushing down against the ground. And right away, you should feel a natural tightening around your core. Again, the same feeling as like the exhalation as you push the back to the floor. Start to flow, reach the right leg forward, but the left arm reaches back. So you inhale, reach away, and then exhale and return. Sticking with the same limbs, inhale, reach away, and exhale and return. And continue breathing and moving with the breath and trying to make sure that the low back stays pretty long and it doesn't shift or change much as you move. And we'll take 3 more times. Stretch away, inhale. Pull back, exhale. 2 more times. Stretch away, inhale. Pull back, exhale. 1 more time. Inhale, and then exhale. I want you to press your left palm against your right thigh. So it can be anywhere along the thigh that feels natural to touch. So maybe up or around the knee area or lower towards the hip area, somewhere in between. But you want to feel like you can press against the leg easily. And then the leg can press back against the hand easily. And then just keep the release of the shoulders down to the ground. Try not to grip or tighten too much, but just feel the connection, the leg, the hand pressing against one another. You want to feel a direct, almost immediate sense of engagement as a result of the weight and pressure, hand and leg pressing in towards one another. Feel a tightening around your core and push and push and keep on pressing. Try not to press as hard as you can, but find that just right amount of effort so you can hold that tightening in your abdominals and around your spine. Feeling the strength build as you maintain the pressure, pushing and breathing. Stay for 3. Shoulders down, head down. Last 2. And then final 1. We'll release the hand and the foot down for a simple switch. So left leg will rise, and then the arm and the leg work together to stretch away. Inhale, and then return. Exhale. Stretch away. Inhale, and return. Exhale. You inhale, reach. Exhale, return. Breathe in and stretch. Breathe out and return. Last 3 times. As you move, still paying attention to make sure that nothing else moves with the limbs. And then the next time you reach back, this time we'll connect the hand and the leg against one another. So find that push energy, pressing, and find that place where it feels comfortable to push against. And push the hand, push the leg against one another. Hold the limbs in place. They're not going to be forced out of position. You're going to stay exactly where you are, but create that just right amount of pressure, that feeling of holding in place. But then as a result of the pressure, you connect to your deep core. There feels like there's this tightening, like that corset around your spine, getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And hold for 3. Don't release the pressure. Last 2. And then final 1. Keep the left leg up, remove the right hand. Bring the right leg up to match the left leg. And then capture and hold around your thighs. All right, so a little tuck of the chin in creates a little roll of the upper body away from the floor. So find the lift and hold. Then feel the hook. The hook is the weight of the mid ribs pressing down into the ground. Whatever area of the rib cage is actively pushing into the floor, then you press into it even more and try and lift a little bit higher. All right, we'll release the right hand and stretch it forward by the side of the thigh, and the right leg by itself for 3 times only. We'll reach out, inhale, pull back, exhale, reach out, inhale, pull back, exhale. Last one. Feel the stretch, the reach, and then return and hold back on. Grab a hold of the leg, find that equal strength through both sides of the body. Find a little bit more curl and lift, and then stretch the left arm by the side. For 3, reach out and pull back in. Last 2, reach out and pull back in. Final 1, feel the stretch, the length, the reach. Pull in and bring the hands behind the head. Lean the head back into the hands so you're no longer having to hold the weight of the head up. You're now letting the weight sink into your hands. As a result, you should feel a little bit more active in your abs. So moving the upper body only, legs stay still, although you can lower them to the floor as an option. Bring your head down to hover above the ground. Hands do not touch the floor. And curl back up. Feel that hook of the ribs push actively down to lift you higher. Inhale, lower down. Exhale and lift back up for 3 more times. Lower slowly and lift back up. 2 more times. Feel the control in both directions and float on up. And final 1, lower down, hover. Hold the hover where your head is just almost going to touch the ground. And then from here, bring your knees forward towards your forehead to lift your hips just slightly above the floor. So pull the knees in, little lift hips up and lower. Pull the knees in, little lift hips up and lower. Okay, if your hips do not lift up, that is totally fine as well. You want to just kind of feel the motion and the engagement involved. And eventually, maybe the hips will lift, maybe not this time, but next time. Find what works as you move for 5 more times. In and lower Pull in and lower. Last 3. In and lower. In and lower. Final 1. Pull the knees in and lower the hips down. All right, feet down to the ground and knees point up towards the ceiling. Keep the hover position, upper back and head up off the ground. Then lift your left shoulder and reach it over to the right side of your mat. So it's a lift and a twist and a turn to the side, then back to center. Switch and lift and twist to the left side, and then lower to center. Lift, reach to the right. Lower, hover above the ground. As high as you can, reach to the left. Lower and hover above the ground. Lift and twist, then lower. Lift and twist, then lower. Okay. Lift and twist, hold to the right side, pause. Keep the lift of the shoulder high above the floor, and then release the left hand only. Right hand continues to hold the head. Reach as far as you can, fingertips past the knee. Curl up for 5. Curl up for 4. Feel the float. Create movement and lift. Last 2. Shoulder up and lower. Final 1. Shoulder lifts and lower down. Return the left hand, come back to center. Now reach over towards the left side and pause. Right shoulder is high. Stretch the right hand out, bring it to the outside of the thigh, the knee, and reach as far as you can. Curl as high as you can up for 5 and 4. Keep moving, reaching. 3 and 2. Final 1. You're going to bring yourself all the way on up and then lower and return everything down to the ground. Take a pause and a hug. Knees pull in and then a rock forward or to the side. We are going to transition and come into a plank pose, the top of a push-up position. So you can make your way to the top of the mat, plant your hands down and move your feet back, and you're in plank. Okay, when plank position, you can have your knees off of the floor, but you can also have them on the ground. So find the support that you need and then hold the posture, okay? So knees up or down, either way, and you can always kind of morph between both setups to make sure that you can feel solid in the pose. So lengthen through the crown of the head, reach back actively through your hips, your heels if your knees are off the ground, and push firmly into your hands and your toes or your knees, whatever is touching the ground. Take another deep breath in, hold and push, and then we'll all rise and lift to downward dog. So move around a little bit. It's really nice just to bend the knees and feel the weight shift from side to side and just feel a little more fluid and not so rigid in your body. And eventually we are going to take a moment to pause, working on the length in the spine. So in order to get more height in the hips, you got to bend your knees just a touch. And any amount of bend is fine, less or more. Push into your hands, lift up through your hips, find as high of a float of the pelvis towards the wall behind you as possible in this moment. Take another deep breath in and out. Lower your knees to the ground. Let's come to hands and knees, table pose. In table pose, your back is flat like a table. We're going to stretch the right leg back and reach the left arm forward. So you have that long stretch through your fingers and through your toes. And you want to keep the balance evenly between both sides. So without leaning the hips or the shoulders, but holding the stack, shoulder over wrist, hip over knee. And then keep the length stretching so you feel like you're building length just by holding the posture. One more deep breath in, and then we'll do our cross and squeeze, knee and elbow towards one another. So cross and squeeze, stretch and lengthen. Cross and squeeze, stretch and lengthen. 3 more for a total of 5. Pull in and reach. Pull in and reach. Final last time. Pull in and stretch. Now lower the left hand down to the ground, matching the right hand. Right leg stays lifted 5 times. We're going to drop the chest, lift the leg, push up. Chaturanga style push-ups for the elbows track towards the back corner edges of the mat, keeping the arm bones hugging in versus wide to the sides. Shoulders stay strong, feeling that motion, moving like a unit, upper body, lower body together. Last 2, it's lower and lift, lower and lift. Back to center, right knee down, find the balance, then switch, left leg out, right arm forward. Stretch through your fingers, stretch through your toes, find a small puff in the back body so you avoid overly back bending in the low back region. Keep the reach through your fingers and your toes while actively pressing down into your hand and your shin. Find a little more pull or plug through the navel center and then find your flow, knee and elbow, cross and stretch. Exhale, pull in, reach out. 3 more times and reach. Last 2, it's exhale and inhale. Final 1, pull and return. Keep the left leg lifted, lower the right hand down, prepare. Upper body, lower body together, chaturanga style push-ups. It's down any amount and then back up. For 4 and push, keep the neck long. For 3 and press. Last 2 times, lower and lift. Final 1, down and up. Bring the left knee down to match the right knee. Tuck the toes and then hover, knees off the ground for a little pause. All right, with the knees off the ground, your hips are coming up just about shoulder level. Of course, you can always bring your knees to the ground if you need extra support, focusing on that abdominal engagement. When you're ready, turn the knees towards the right. Take a little twist off to the side. Then glide and lower back to center to spin and twist to the left. Then lower and turn to the right. Lower and turn to the left. Last 1. It's all the way right, deep twist. And then back to the left and then center to lower the knees down. Lower the knees, keep the hips where they are, walk your hands forward so you get that puppy stretch, letting your head rest down, soften the chest to the floor, take 2 cycles of breath. Keep the hips up high, but you want to feel that draping of the spine, sinking down. And then when you're ready, walk your hands back under the shoulders, and we're going to come up into a lunge. So step your right foot forward. Right foot forward between the hands, and then raise the arms up and reach up. So first we want to make sure that we're set up in a more of 90-90 lunge. So you don't want to be far forward, hips forward of the back knee. You're going to set your hip over the back knee, and then the front knee rests over the ankle. When you're ready, you're going to lean just slightly forward so you can tuck your toes easily, and then pause. Feel like your inner thighs are hugging towards one another, your outer hips are hugging in. So it gives you the strength towards the center line of your body. So when you push into your back knee, you can float that knee off the floor. Okay, so you want to find the flow, and then it's always possible that you need to change your foot position to feel more confident with the knee hovering. So find what works and then hold. And then sink down to the degree you can comfortably, where you're not, up away from the floor. So you want to have that deep bend into your back knee. Find that squeeze, inner thighs hug in towards one another, outer hips squeeze in towards one another. And then from here, we're going to go down and up. So it's a small range of motion where we lower and lift. We focus on the squeeze to the midline, so we're not letting the legs fly out. They're hugging in as you lower and lift. The motion is very small and definitely super controlled, so you're not bouncing. It's down and up, lower, and lift for 5 more times. Good. Pushing into your feet will help maintain strength in your legs to help you control the flow of the movement. The leg goes up and down. And last time, let's pause with the knee down any amount. Then hinge and tip the torso forward. Straighten and lengthen the back leg all the way. Good. Then again, we'll keep the torso in this bent position and then add a little movement in the arms. So the elbows go wide so you get that cactus squeeze of the arms. And from here, we're going to drop the knee down, extend the arms overhead. So it's lower and lift, way bigger range of motion. Down and then up. Down and push, feel the energy in the back leg. Lower, maintain the length in the spine. Okay, down and squeeze the elbows in. 5 more times. Lower and lift. Stretch the arms and squeeze the back muscles. 3 more, down and up. 2 more, down and up. Last one, down and then push up. Connect the palms together. Continue to reach forward. Here we go. Float the back leg up. Work that standing leg glute here. Squeeze the thighs in, hips in. Pause and stay. Change the angle as necessary. Backing out of it would be chest higher, leg lower. Dropping into it would be chest lower, leg higher. Stay for 5, 4, last 3, 2, and final 1. Bend the knee, lower the foot down. Let's go back the way we came in. Drop the left knee down, hands down, and then move the right knee back. Quick child's pose to get a little stretch in the hips. The hips reach back, the head rests down. Take a pause here. You can even open the knees a little bit wider for more of a stretch. Take a moment, soften, let everything go. And then when you're ready to transition, you'll bring the hands back under the shoulders, move yourself back up and into your table pose. Switching sides, we'll take the left foot forward and then lift the torso. Again, finding that 90-90 setup, making sure that the top joints are stacked right above the bottom joints without a hinge, okay? Then from here, the back knee will tuck and the back knee will lift up off the floor. So you find that hover away from the ground. And you want to keep your upright torso with your strong legs, remembering that squeeze of the inner thighs hugging towards one another. Moving within a small range of motion, we go down and up, down and up. Yeah, any arm position that kind of gets the shoulders back, keeps the torso long. It's fine, but you want to feel the control in both directions, avoiding any type of bounce. You lower and lift, lower and lift. Good. Keep it nice and slow for 5 and push, 4 and push. 3 more times. Down, then up, down and up. Now hold it down. Take that pause, squeeze thighs in, and hinge the torso forward as you straighten out that back leg now. Elbows tuck into the sides of the body. Upper body movement, lower body movement, coordinating it together. Knee goes down, arms extend, and squeeze as you straighten. Inhale. Exhale. Lower. Lift. Lower, lift. So the torso remains the same. Hinge forward, kind of hovering over the thigh. The back leg is working in its full range of motion. Totally bent to totally straight. Same with the arms. You go out and then squeeze in. Last 3. And pull. 2. And pull. Final 1. We go down and up. Squeeze or take the palms together at your heart. Shift forward and push. Find that pause and then float. Any angle here that you can sustain the balance. You feel like you're working that left glute to hold you still. And for your last few rounds of breath, if you want to dip a little bit lower or come out slightly of the pose, you choose. You hold for 5. Last 4. 3. 2, and then come out the way we came in. Bend the front knee, lower the back leg, then return the hands and the knee, left knee back, and shift. Child's pose. Pause right here. One more deep breath in and out. Return and lift back up. Look forward. This time we'll step and step. Take a moment to hang out and fold. Get even more length through the back body. Take a pause here. Then when you're ready, you can roll and come all the way on up. We are going to set ourselves up so our feet are just wider apart. A wide-legged stance. Turn the heels in slightly so the toes turn out. Slide your hands onto your thighs and start to sink your hips down, coming into your horse stance. Also kind of a wide turned out squat position. Now, in order to remain long through the torso, it is likely that you stay in a slight hinge. It's not as common to be able to go upright and keep the length in the low back. So find the hinge that works for your body, but keep the low position, all right? So you're hinged forward slightly, your back is long, and then you transition so it's the legs totally by themselves. Release the arms, and then you can bring your hands to your chest. You can hold onto your hips, whatever feels comfortable, sinking the hips down a little bit more. All right, left heel, you're gonna lift it up, lower it down. Right heel, lift it up, lower it down. So I'm lifting my heels pretty high, but it's really comfortable for me to do that. So you can always just do a little slight hover instead of a high lift. Whatever amount of lift you can create in your body without moving your hips. The hips stay the same the whole time. It's just the heel by itself. Lifts and lowers, lifts and lowers. Hold the left heel high. Keep the length of the torso. Sink your hips down, that small range of motion. Go down, up, down, up. Lower, lift, lower, lift. Okay, lower and pause. Hold that drop. Take a breath in. And then lower the heel. To switch, left heel up. Okay, from here, go down and up. Go down and up. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. Final one. So go down and hold. Drop the heel down. And then option, stay here, both heels down. Or option, lift both heels up. Last variation, we got it. So stay with me. We're going to do 5 times. It's obviously slow. So we're going to go down and up, down and up. Just 3 more times. Lower and lift, lower and lift. Final one. Go down and then lower the heels down and then press all the way up. Turn the toes in, hinge forward, and take a nice easy fold and hang down. Stretch out to the back of the legs. Give those hamstrings a lot of length. Take a pause. Really let the body drape over. You can have the legs totally straight, but you can also have a small bend in them. Last 2 rounds of breath. And 1 more deep breath in. All right, looking forward, rise up, step your feet together. You're back at the top area of the mat. We're going to do a little calf strengthening. So the heels lift up again and lower. We lift and lower, up and down, up and down. 3 more. Lift and lower, lift and lower. Last one. Lift and hold the lift as high as you can. Find that balance. Squeeze thighs in, squeeze hips in. Even feel the outer ankles hug in. Take 1 more deep breath in and out. Lower your heels. Big reach, arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, easy fold down. And step the left foot back, pause. And bring your hands around the right foot. Let's do a little twist here. So option to keep the left knee off the ground or lower it towards the ground. By lowering your knee towards the ground, it might make the twist feel a little more accessible. So raise the right arm up and then decide what setup is best for you. As you spin and you turn to the side, you want to feel that movement of the spine, turning, twisting towards the right. Take another breath. And then lower. Lower the left knee down for sure this time. Wiggle, stretch the right leg forward. Dig the heel down so the toes can lift up. And then soften again. Find that forward fold over the front leg. Forward, softening down. Take a couple rounds of breath. And then we'll bend back into the right knee. I want you to swing the left foot over towards the right side and then prop your right arm on your thigh. Take the left arm to the ceiling. So we're turning to face the other side and we're in a modified setup for side angle pose. Feel the hip opening as you press the right thigh out to the right side and keep twisting and turning. 1 more breath. Then return and lower your hand down, move the left toes back, tuck those left toes. We'll do a simple switch by stepping forward and then step on back. Switching for your twist. Right knee on or off the ground, raise the left arm up, spin and turn towards the side. Take a few rounds of breath, moving deeper towards the twist, feeling the torso spiral and turn to face the left side of the room. 1 more deep breath in. Stay here as you breathe out. And then unwind. Lower the right knee down if it's not already. Wiggle and stretch the left leg forward so you can tip and straighten the left leg with the toes off the ground. Soften and fold. Come into the hamstring stretch. Take another breath. Let the head feel heavy, torso heavy. And then move back forward into the bend of the knee. Cross the right foot over to the left side. Prop the forearm to its thigh and then take the arm towards the ceiling. Coming into a little side stretch, side angle variation. The left thigh keeps pressing to the left side of the room as the left side waist turns towards the right. Take another breath. And then release. Turn the toes back and bring the left knee back to match the right. We'll actually just sweep the feet to the side so we can come back onto the ground. So scoot yourself to the middle, lie flat against the floor. Do 1 last ab exercise and then a last and final stretch. So from here, lengthen out so the torso feels evenly pressed against the floor. And bring your legs back to tabletop position. Grab a hold of your thighs like we did at the beginning. Roll and tuck the upper body off of the ground. All right, you're lifting up as high as you can and then moving your hands behind your head. And we'll do a little crisscross. So we'll lift and twist as you extend the left leg, then off, right over to the other side, and switch, and switch, switch, and switch. Keep turning from side to side. Lift and lift. Work the float of the shoulder high above the ground. It's up and up for 5, and switch, 4, and switch, 3, 2. Okay, one more time each way. Bring it back to center after you twist to the left and pause. Grab back onto your thighs and curl up just a touch higher if possible. And stretch the arms forward with the palms pressing down. This is an exercise focused on the breath out, where we make the sound of a sh, and it's focused on the exhale, sorry. So the inhale just happens naturally. It goes like this, like you're pushing your hands through water. You go down and sh, float them up. Down and sh, float them up. Sh, lift, sh, lift, sh, lift, sh, lift and hold. Stay like this. Or last 5 times, option to stretch your legs even further forward, even if they're not all the way straight. You can give yourself a little more challenge. 5 times, go, lift, lift, lift. Last 2, final 1, and hold your hands down. Curl up a little bit higher as you breathe in. Stay here as you breathe out. Stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then final 1, tuck and roll all the way down. Release the head down completely, then lower the feet down. Here we go into a little bridge stretch. So whenever you're ready, gently push and float your hips up high. Lengthen and stretch the front side of the body. Hold here. Keep the lift and stay. Last 2 rounds of breath. And when you're ready, carefully release. From here, quick stretch, thread the needle, right ankle crosses over the thigh, and you can grab a hold of the left leg as an option or keep the leg on the floor. Squeezing the knee in, the left knee draws in closer, but the right knee presses away. And then releasing and switch. Left ankle crosses with the option of the right foot to stay on the ground or lift the right leg and hold on to the thigh. Gently draw the right leg in closer and gently press the left thigh forward. And from here, unwind and hug the knees into your chest. You can take a little rock from side to side, and then eventually turn to one side or roll yourself back up. All right, we did it. Good job.
You killed me.